The top 5 reasons why we joined LPT Realty. Today, we are answering the questions of why we joined LPT Realty. And there's probably going to be a little bit more than 5, but I'm here to tell you that you want to stay to the end because the number 4 and the number 5 are probably the reasons why you're here to watch the video. But here's the thing is that we're always looking for the things that we want to know, but it's the things that we don't know that are most important. So first and foremost, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Elevated Agents. My name is AJ Ackerman.
I'm Mark Ammons.
And we are here to give you the 5 reasons. The first question that we want to ask, and there's actually 5 questions. And so what we're going to go through is vision, culture, lifestyle, how the company supports you, how LPT supports its agents. And number 5, which is the absolute most important question, is how does LPT help you grow your business?
Absolutely. Yeah, so those are the 5 questions. If you haven't seen those and you want to dive into a little bit more detail about all 21 questions we recommend, we'll also leave a link down below that you can check out. That'll give you a downloadable PDF that gives all 21 questions we recommend asking. But we really think that these top 5 questions will give you a really good idea of whether the brokerage that you're looking at is going to be a good fit for you in all those different areas. So we want to get kicked off with the first one, which is going to be vision. My man AJ here is going to take that.
What is the company's vision? This is such a key question. You know, when you're deciding who you're going to partner with, you want to know, where's the company going? You know, when I get on the bus and there's a driver, I want to know where the driver's taking the bus. I don't want to just end up on some side crazy street, right? And so where's the company going to be in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years? And, you know, this all starts at the top. When you're thinking about vision, this starts with the creator, the CEO. And so I had an amazing opportunity to go to a private dinner with Mr. Robert Palmer himself. And it was so cool to be able to sit down with him and get to know him and honestly just be in his presence. And what I mean by that is that he was so genuine and so thoughtful and so attentive. And I literally, the first question I asked him was, what is your vision? And the answer that I got was not the answer I was expecting. You know, one of the things that he had mentioned was that his biggest regret when he built his billion-dollar mortgage company was that he didn't help enough people become millionaires. And I was like, I'm like, this is interesting. And so right away, the first question that popped in my head was, well, how many millionaires do you want to create? And he said 1,000. And I was like, 1,000? And I was like, you know what? That sounds great to me. I'm jumping on board.
That's right.
And so a couple other parts of the vision is that his goal is to have 150,000 agents worldwide. Now, the stretch goal is 200,000, but imagine where the company is going to be in 5 years, in 10 years. Imagine being at the beginning. You know, as of today, as of right now, it's November 2022. We just hit about 2,900 agents in less than a year. And that's phenomenal.
It's crazy.
It is.
The other brokerages out there that you're probably familiar with, you're looking at scale so much faster. We've done what a lot of these other brokerages have taken 7, 10, 12 years to do in less than a year and in only one state. So that was, again, a huge reason that really kind of caught our eye with this model is what is the growth potential and seeing how fast it's scaling and knowing that growth is likely just to accelerate. Super exciting.
Yeah, and there's so many cool parts of the vision. You know, if you don't, be sure to go follow Robert Palmer on social media, on Facebook. He drops bombs on there and you get to really learn a lot about who he is and what his vision is. But part of his vision is also helping the agents, putting the agents out front. You know, part of this was that in the mortgage company, Robert was the guy on the radio, on the TV, creating code, creating the company. Like, he was doing a lot. And so in this particular scenario is that he wanted to give back. He's putting the agent in front, putting the agent on the billboard, putting the agent on TV, putting the agent in the front, because that's what it's all about. It's about, how do we become famous locally? How do we help the agents sell more homes? It's an amazing, it's a beautiful thing to listen to him talk and share the vision, because it's constantly growing, it's constantly expanding, and it's super, super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the next thing that we want to focus on, which is another crucial part of partnering with a company and really making any kind of business partnership, is culture. And a lot of people don't understand why culture is so important, but culture permeates. Culture is contagious. And I've seen this firsthand. I've had the privilege of working in a lot of different capacities in a lot of different industries, from serving in the military to working for small regional owned companies, employee owned companies, large multinational, multi-billion dollar corporations. And the one consistent thing I have seen in every single one of those organizations is that culture permeates through that organization and it goes deep. And so I got started back in real estate in 2016, and I went to work for a custom home builder. And starting in new construction was a really great way to get into real estate because I got to build some really deep relationships with agents outside of my brokerage. So a lot of these homes were taking 12, 18 months to build. So I was hip to hip with a lot of these other agents for years, really kind of getting to see the inside of their brokerage at a different level than some agents do. And what was really fascinating is after a while, an agent could walk in that I had never even met before, and probably with a 75% certainty rate, I could tell you what brokerage that agent was with just by how they carried themselves, how they treated their clients, how they talked, and how they conducted business, because that culture just really does permeate through an organization. Sometimes that's a good thing. A lot of times it's not a good thing. So if you don't want to be impacted by a negative culture, you need to put yourself in a position of surrounding yourself with a positive culture. Surround yourself with people that have that common vision, that have the same goals, and that are there to lift each other up and not tear each other down. And that, I think, was one of the biggest negative things I saw with some cultures is when it comes to culture, you get what you tolerate and you get what you incentivize. And so when it comes to incentivizing things, you really need to be with a brokerage that incentivizes other agents, helping grow the whole organization, and not just what's in it for me and how can I, beat out the competition. When the competition, it's kind of one team, one fight on a lot of this stuff. So that was a huge thing for me, was seeing the back end of what goes in with the mastermind calls that we do, where we've got access to agents from all over, where we can see firsthand, hey, what's actually working? What are you doing in your market? How's it working? What's not working? And sharing that information, because the culture that we have here at LPT is one where when one person succeeds, we all succeed. You've probably heard the saying, a rising tide raises all boats. Well, that's kind of the vision that we have here at LPT, is we know that we're all owners of the company. When we sell real estate, we get awarded stock. And the more real estate that you sell, that AJ sells, that I sell, that benefits everybody, because that means the company's doing better. That means the stock price is doing better. We're all growing as a result of one person that we may never even met doing better in real estate. So we're all incentivized to help each other out. And that to me is huge, because that kind of camaraderie and that teamwork really helps connect that vision with what we're doing every single day. So culture is huge. I think the culture here at LPT is phenomenal, because we're really just here trying to help each other grow.
It's so funny. I was just thinking more about culture, and it's like I automatically think about you are who you hang out with. Jim Rohn says you're the sum total of the 5 closest people to you. And, that was one of the things at the last brokerage I was at, EXP, is that everyone kept talking about downline. There's all these special groups. Right. And it was like, I always had kind of FOMO, fear of missing out, of being a part of this group or being part of this group. And, so far, the way that things have been working out at LPT is that everyone's working together. It's been really incredible to be able to get on mastermind calls with people from different groups, different, downlines, so to speak. And one other thing that comes to mind when I think about culture is in 2009, when I first got in the business, I was cold calling. That's how I built my business to start with. And it actually worked really well for me. But it was funny because my broker kept pushing me to go to these broker open houses. And I was like, dude, what am I going to go to a broker open house for? I don't get it. And I was like, finally, I broke down. I was like, I'm in, I'll go. And so I go to this broker open house, and literally I went a couple times, and all of the agents there were talking about how bad the market was. And they were all there for the free lunch. And I was like, this is culture, and it was awesome that you talked about other companies. I think there's like 5 Remaxes in the one city that I live, right, and each one has a total different culture because of the way the model is. It's all different owners and different franchises, where here the culture is pouring completely down from one person. It's really amazing. Question number 3. Does the brokerage care about your lifestyle? Like, this is something I don't think people think enough about. And I'm going to keep this really simple. Do you design your business around your life, or do you design your life around your business? So many agents are designing their life around their business. Your business controls you. It consumes you. You're Mr. 24/7. It doesn't have to be that way. I'm here to tell you that when I started focusing on my lifestyle and I surrounded myself with people that cared about my lifestyle, and I created a business, not a lock, not a hold on. The coolest thing is that I actually started gaining more time the bigger I grew, because I was focused on my lifestyle. The two most important things to me are my marriage and my kids. And every decision that I make is based on that. And so are you surrounded by people that are supporting your lifestyle?
Yeah, for sure. And, to tag on that a little bit, one of the things that, and we're going to get into this when we talk about support, but even on that note of really supporting the lifestyle, is how does the brokerage encourage you to not be spending time doing things that may not be the best use of your time? And so, we've got a lot of top producers that are joining LPT that they're phenomenal at selling real estate. And one of the things that LPT really encourages, we're a real estate sales focused brokerage. We're not an attraction brokerage. We do that because we have a rev share opportunity, but we're really all here to do what we came to do and why we got our real estate license, which is sell real estate. So one of the amazing things that LPT does is they say, hey, you're phenomenal at selling real estate. We want you to do more of that, but we also understand that you have this great opportunity to attract agents, and you being a high producing agent, you're in a great position to help train up some of these agents. We want agents to come on underneath of you. How can we help do that? That's not taking time away from your family, from your kids, from your wife. So we have Recruit Assist, where when you sell real estate, you're selling 30, 40, 50 homes a year. LPT is going to market on your behalf to the agents that you're working with on the other side of the table to see if they want to come join the phenomenal model that we have here. They're doing that for you for up to 12 months after you close those deals. So little things like that give you time back to do the things that you're passionate about and that you love doing while still gaining the benefits of this model that we have. I think things like that really, really make it a compelling offer.
I love that. I absolutely love the fact that they do that agent assist thing, because I remember when I first joined, we keep talking about EXP. Why not?
We both came from EXP. and look, an EXP, to be fair, it's a good model. Yeah. Like, it paved the way for what LPT did. It got rid of a lot of the doubt about whether or not a cloud-based brokerage that doesn't have these brick and mortar locations is a feasible solution in today's market. And it proved it by getting to the level that it has. All we did is improve upon that model by knowing that it works and then making it better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting. I was a two-time icon there, and I was selling a lot of homes. And, the thing is, though, is that how many agents were already selling a lot of homes, joined EXP because of the model, because the model was so great, got so excited about agent attraction, and then backed off on their sales.
Yeah, production falls.
And then what happens is that, you have to get 40 qualifying people on your front line to get paid on all 7 levels. And, there's about 86,000 agents there now as of today. And it's interesting. I think I just heard that there's less than 50 that actually are qualified on all 40. And so, at LPT, you only need 15 as of today to qualify for all 7 levels. Super cool. And to getting into support. So question number 4 and question number 5 are two of the biggest questions. And how is the brokerage going to support you? What are they going to do to help you out? And so the first one is marketing. I would love Mark to talk about marketing, would be really cool. So the first one is, how is the company helping you from a marketing standpoint?
Yeah, one of the great things is that we were founded by a master marketer. And so that's important, again, when it comes to vision and understanding what is the leadership doing. Well, when you have a leader who understands the value of marketing, who has been a master at marketing, they can roll out ways to really promote the agents. And as AJ was talking about, where one of Robert Palmer's big goals is to really make the local agents the local stars, to make you famous locally first. And so the things that they're doing to do that is, hey, billboards. When I first heard this, I heard, hey, they're putting your picture up on billboards, and I kind of joked about it. I was like, what is this, like 1986? But the thing is like, it's that one extra step. And again, especially going into the market that we're going into, where things are changing, and whether anyone likes that, we're not changing that right now. The market is changing. And AJ has said it before, old school is the new school. And so going back to those basics of how do you keep yourself top of mind, right? We're going to lose a lot of agents through this market, but those agents who stay in, what can you do to pick up market share? Well, by staying top of mind in your local community where you're actively selling real estate, that's huge. So whether it's billboards, whether it's radio spots, whether it's TV spots where you can go out and talk about what we're doing here as a brokerage and what we have to offer, I think that's absolutely phenomenal. The second thing, Listing Power Tools. LPT Realty Listing Power Tools is a company that Robert started many years ago as a way to help agents have basically a one-touch option to get a 168-page box that has all of the marketing material from door hangers to riders to business cards that are personalized for the house that you're selling, which again, not only help you sell that home more effectively, but also help you to market yourself more effectively to the surrounding areas. You know, farming is a phenomenal way to build a business. And we get for free with every single listing that we get one of these listing power packs, which has all of this marketing material in there to not only sell that house more effectively, but to promote yourself within your local market more effectively. So things like that are just a part of the business model that are baked in, that are available whether you're doing the Business Builder 100% commission option, whether you're doing the 80-20 rev share option, you have that available to you. You have the full support of all the marketing behind LPT. And I just think putting the agents first and helping them sell more real estate and make themselves top of mind with the people in their local market is huge.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do a video to present this whole listing power tool back to you because it's absolutely phenomenal what it is. And in October, there was about 2,500 real estate agents, and out of those agents who actually utilized the listing power toolbox in Florida, generated 29,000 leads. 29,000 leads. That's incredible. That's huge. That's just absolutely amazing. And so what's really interesting is that the old school is the new school. Like, it's time to get back to work. It's time to get back to basics. And you need marketing, tough guy.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Sorry. You know what's really funny when AJ said that? So we had a call last night, one of our opportunity calls. We do them twice a week, every Wednesday, every Sunday at 8 p.m. If you're interested, we'll leave a link down below if you want to join. But we had another former EXP icon, five-time icon agent on there. And when the LPT model was presented to her, and she saw the listing power tools, and she saw all the different AI-based marketing support that we have here on the back end at LPT, she made a statement that really hit me hard, which was she knew as soon as she left that presentation that she was either going to have to go recreate everything that was available to LPT agents, or she was going to have to leave her brokerage and join LPT, because she knew that eventually the listing appointments that she was going on, she was going to be going up against LPT agents who were going to have all these materials available, and she wasn't going to get those listings. So it was kind of a, if you can't beat them, join them. And the tools that we have are so powerful that I think agents are starting to see that if the agents I'm going up against have this and I don't, I'm not getting that listing.
No, it's, I mean, we can talk about marketing for hours, actually. So, you know, we've also got here's the other thing is there's no monthly fee. There's no monthly cost to any of this. You get listing power tools. You also get Chime, which was one of the top CRMs in the country. That's fully loaded. You get, if you have a team, you can get the team version of it. Super cool. And so the other thing is that they're also going after Zillow. You know, and so how many brokerages out there are actually giving their agents an opportunity to get listing leads directly from the company? See, the thing is about Robert Palmer is he's a marketing guy. He's focused on taking market share, and he's going after Zillow with something called homevalue.com. Now, it's funny that you had mentioned it because I'm sure there's going to be a link in here. You want to make sure you check out LPT Explained because we go through all of these things in a live Zoom. It's actually a lot of fun. It's educational, it's elevating, and it's very inspirational. And so you'll get a little bit more details about this. We're just touching the surface, but you will start seeing homevalue.com commercials as we continue to grow throughout the United States. They're already starting in Florida, and people are already starting to get those leads. And the other cool thing is that you don't just get a cold lead. Like, if you've been in real estate at any point of time, you pay for leads and they're cold. They're actually warming them up for you. You get the lead as soon as they're ready for the appointment. It's absolutely phenomenal, the marketing that we're being provided at no additional cost.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, one of the next things that they offer in terms of support is technology. You know, one of the complaints that I had, and again, there's nothing particularly wrong with like the back end thing at EXP. There's EXP World where you're kind of in like this little video game and you walk around. But to be honest with you, I never really found myself using it because I needed to be on my desktop, and it was never just convenient for me to hop on and just get an answer. And so again, with Robert Palmer being not only a marketing genius, but also a coding genius, he saw what the limitations were with that system and said, how do I just make it easy for my agents, no matter where they're at, to get support, to get answers to the questions that they have? So we have LPT Connect. And within LPT Connect, there's a lot baked into that where you can see things even as far as like how much stock you own. But let's say you just need support. Well, instead of having to log into this little world and walk around and teleport to different places, you can call, you can text, you can chat, you can email, and you get a response back almost immediately. I mean, I know AJ has used that a lot. Just reach out, and within, anywhere from 5 minutes to under an hour, you've got a live person either on the phone, on a chat, answering your questions to get you back into business to do what we're supposed to do, which is sell real estate. So the simplicity of not overcomplicating something that doesn't need to be overcomplicated, to me was a big selling point that I just like things to be simple. I'm an Apple guy, right? I don't need it to be the most complex thing in the world. I just want it to work every single time. And that's kind of what that back end from a technology standpoint does, is it just works.
Yeah, it's technology administration. It's kind of like putting them together a little bit. And it's interesting. There are 7 generations of people right now. 7 generations of people that are alive right now. And I automatically come to the idea of the forms of communication. There's all these forms of communication, and we're in real estate. We're in the relationship business, right? One of the greatest gifts you can give is utilizing the other person's form of communication. And so some people like myself, I call it old school nowadays. I don't know why it's old school, but I like to pick up the phone, call somebody and get them on the phone and have a conversation. It's I also want things right now a lot of times. And so I'm I just want it right now. But the other cool thing is that there's the chat feature. And I've been using that a lot because honestly, I've been getting a faster response using the chat than I have even the phone lately. Yeah. So you can text, you can chat, you can call, you can email. It's really cool. And the onboarding process, since we're talking about administration and technology, I'll tell you, onboarding has been a challenge for a lot of people with a lot of different companies. And man, the onboarding process, we talk about Robert's vision. His vision is to create an amazing experience. And one of the things that he did was that as the company was growing here within the first year, it grew faster than they thought. And they actually shut it down. They stopped bringing in new agents. They started a wait list for about 30 days. Yeah. The reason they did that was because they wanted to continue to improve the experience. They wanted to make sure that every agent had a great experience, because I can't tell you how many times you get excited about a new company and you're pumped up and you're ready to go. And then you start the onboarding process and it's horrible. It's almost like any experience that you would have anywhere else. You buy a brand new car. And you go and you get the new car, and then all of a sudden you drive off the lot and something's wrong with the car. And you're like, okay, this is not a good experience. And so support, technology, the focus on it has been incredible. And then the fourth thing is, how is the company going to support you from a training and coaching aspect? So part of LPT Connect, they have a live training button. They've got live training and coaching every single week. They've got recorded live training and coaching. And the other cool thing about Elevated Agents and Limitless Agent is our group is that we have these mastermind sessions that have been powerful. These things are worth thousands of dollars. I mean, when you have people from all over, well, eventually be all over the country, but right now, all over Florida, you have these top agents that come from all these different companies that have all this experience. They're pouring into the agents. It's been really amazing.
Yeah, even just my personal growth. I mean, I really feel like I've grown more in the last 30 days being a part of a lot of these masterminds and the training and what we're doing than I really did in the year before that I was with EXP. And again, a lot of the experiences that we have, and I just want to kind of go back to the onboarding, because that was, it was such a phenomenal experience and such a stark difference compared to, again, where I was at before. And I likened it to almost the difference between staying at like a Motel 6, kind of in like inner city Motel 6, just not a really good experience, to staying at like a luxury 5-star hotel with a concierge. That was kind of the difference for me of how I felt like I was treated during the onboarding process, where I had a person bringing me through this whole process, like a personal concierge, to make it as seamless as possible. And again, like AJ said, that first taste in your mouth, you only get one chance to make a first impression. And I was super impressed with what LPT did when they realized they were kind of outgrowing the support network they had in, where it's like, hey, this is not okay. Like, we're going to hit the brakes until we've built up the support system there. And I came on after the waitlist reopened, and I had a phenomenal experience. And it was just really interesting to see the difference in how different companies treat that kind of customer service and that first interaction they have with their agents.
Well, and it's like, I mean, here's the cool thing is that if you are an early adopter, right? Right now, we're at a beautiful place where there's a lot of access. Like, everyone's really accessible. The corporate office, Robert, a lot of people are growing right now. And one of the cool things I've seen is that there's a lot of reward for people that put in the work, that put in the time. I mean, people are already flying on the private jet. We're already going to private dinners. We're doing live masterminds with corporate and Robert and other leaders from even other companies. And so it's just been really incredible to see that experience. And so you can really tell that there's a lot of care and thought and love that's being put into this. And that kind of is a great time to lead into the fifth arena, which is really the most exciting, is how is the company going to help you grow your business? Right? We are entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, raise your hand. Raise your hand. You are an entrepreneur. And so one of the things I realized early on in my career is like, you have to be looking at this as a business. How are you thinking like a successful business owner? How are you talking? How are you acting? What are the choices you make, the behaviors, but also where's the value? You know, when I decided to open up my own brokerage in 2015, at the time I was at Century 21 and I looked at how much I had paid out in 1 year. It was $75,000. I was like, I looked at that and I was like, I could open my own company for that, you know? And so now it's, I don't mind investing. I invest a lot of money in coaching and training, but I want to know that I'm getting an investment back. Am I getting 10 times back? Am I getting 100 times back? And so how is LPT Realty helping you grow your business? There's a lot of things I want to talk about, but the first one I want to talk about is options. We have options. That's one of the biggest differentiators from LPT and any other real estate company out there, is that you can come in as a flat fee agent. Flat fee. You pay $500 per transaction with a $5,000 cap.
With a cap.
Yes.
A cap on a flat fee.
Cap. And then you go to 100%. That's only 10 deals. So if you're really focused on just building your real estate business and you still get the full support of the company, you still get listing power tools, you still get the CRM, you still get administration, you still get, and it's so cool. The second option is the rev share option, right? It's a traditional, well, it's not even traditional. It's a rev share model. It's an 80-20 split with a $15,000 cap, and you can earn revenue share. Now, we already know that the revenue share model works. We just see it now work better. It's taken it to the next level. So imagine if you were at the beginning of EXP. Imagine if you were one of those first ones that were able to educate, to elevate, to inspire, to share the opportunity. That's why we're so excited about the opportunity, because we are in the early adopting stage, and we'll continue to be in this stage probably for a good 12 to maybe 24 months. Yeah. I'm not sure how long you think. And then there's also the stock. Do you want to share about the stock?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the amazing things about the LPT model is that, again, we're an agent-owned brokerage. So what does that mean? Well, that means that when you sell real estate, you get rewarded. Again, we talk about incentivizing. You build a culture based on what you incentivize. And so one of the incentives that we have when we sell real estate is we get to become owners in the company. So I think right now we get it on your first deal, your third deal, your 10th deal, and your 35th deal. And again, some of these things can change in the future, but that's what we've got right now. So the more real estate you sell, the more ownership you gain in the company. And one of the phenomenal things about that is right now we're really just accruing shares. So we're accruing equity, a percentage equity basically in the company. Well, we haven't gone public yet. And when that eventually happens, again, we've seen in the past from other models what can happen and the power of accruing a lot of shares early on. Again, going back to being an early adopter, there's a lot of benefits to getting in on the ground floor of a company that's already seeing explosive growth. And that, again, the timing of that was one of the huge reasons that pulled me over. I know that was a big reason for AJ as well. One of the other great things, again, when you're on a rev share model and you're attracting agents because you're really just evangelizing what you've seen and the benefits of the company, and that's attracting agents to come on. When you attract agents and they close their first deal, you're also getting equity in the company because we're helping the whole company grow and we get rewarded for that. So we're incentivizing the right behaviors. We're helping agents become owners, build equity, and really build long-term wealth. And again, going back to not just how does the company help you grow your business, how are they helping set you up for the rest of your life? How are they helping you develop generational wealth that you can pass on? So that, again, I think is a huge benefit.
Yeah, and I want to talk about In the Black. And so he talked about the levels, right? There's these badges that you get on the first deal, third, I think it's 15, it might be 10 or 15, and 35. And so once you hit 35 transactions in a 12-month period within your time frame, you become a black badge. I like to call it In the Black. Sounds pretty cool. And so what happens is that there are other benefits involved with that. And so one of the other benefits is that, yes, as of right now, you get 2,500 or more shares of stock, but then you also get your $15,000 cap back in advertising dollars. It's about helping you grow your business. There's an a la carte, and you get to choose, okay, how do I want to invest this $15,000 now back into my business? So now you can do more business and grow your team, whatever it is that you want to do with that.
Yeah, and to tag onto that a little bit more, there's also no additional strings attached. And we've seen that in some other models where they say, once you hit this level, we're happy to give you that cap back, but, and there's a but behind it. There's additional things you have to do. And again, AJ, having been a multi-icon at our previous brokerage, went through that and he saw just the hurdles you have to jump over to actually make that happen. Where again, here, going back to lifestyle, how do we help you, are some of those things that you have to do the best use of your time as a productive agent. Because if you're hitting this status, you're a productive agent. Well, what we would rather do is incentivize you to help you sell more real estate. So let's take that $15,000 and let's apply that to growing your business. I mean, you think about $1,500, that's over $1,000 a month. What could you do with an extra $1,000 a month in marketing? That's a lot.
Yeah, that was like a mic drop, by the way. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. Well, so those are the 5 questions for today. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let us know. But I just want to recap them real quick. First is, what's the company's vision? Where are they going? Number 2 is, what's the company's culture? And does it match what you believe? Number 3, do they support your lifestyle? Question number 4, how will the brokerage support you via marketing, administration, training, technology, coaching? Question number 5, how will they help you grow your business? And so please don't forget, if you want some more information, just click the button below. You can set up a Zoom with us so you can meet with us one-on-one, or you can go ahead and join one of the LPT Explained, and you'll be able to get a lot more information there as well.
Guys, thanks so much for spending time with us. We know your time is valuable. We always appreciate it. We look forward to sharing more information about what we're doing here on our journey at LPT with Elevated Agents. Thanks as always.
Oh, we're going to keep it coming. Don't you worry.
See you next time, guys.